Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and I love to introduce this wonderful team that God has provided me. I'm not going to make Faith speak because she hardly has any voice left at all. I'll just have her say little itty-bitty things. But here's Faith. Faith has been since her parents actually met in our congregation, and so while she was in her mommy's belly, she was already attending church and continued to attend church her whole childhood. And I used to sit her up on the pulpit when she was a baby, and she would help me do announcements. And then she was an usher for a while. They would hand out affirmation cards. And now she's my official assistant. And how many days are we counting down now?
11, 12.
11 days until she turns 18. Yeah. So we're pretty excited for her birthday. We're going to have a special Sunday that Sunday in honor of Faith. Your birthday is what, on a Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. So she'll be celebrating Friday and Saturday, and then she'll be with us on Sunday as we have this other celebration just for her. So, well, it'll be for you too, but it's for her, in honor of her. Thank you, Faith, for being here. We love you. And then there's my partner in crime, who's been with me since 1998. My first baby practitioner, who's taken all of his training with me except for one class, was my board president for like 11 years or something like that. Crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And now lives in Florida, and we kind of lost him in our service for a little while, but now that we're online, we can do it again. So he's back with us. And he's going to be our practitioner of the day, praying us in, praying us out, and available at the end for a 1-minute miracle. So thank you, Oz, for being here. We love you. All right. So today's topic is Burning Bowl 2022. And that's about all I'm going to say right now. I'll leave you sitting on the edge of your seats. What I will ask of you at some point is to get a pen and paper. And if you have I like metal containers because I know that they are fireproof. But I'm going to ask you to get a bowl and some water. We want to make sure we do this safely. So I'll have you get a bowl and some water. All right. I also like to introduce the music team that is an honorary music team. Let's put it that way. Reverend Ferry Elaine Silver and Karen Drucker. They have both given us their music to do on Sundays. Without them, we would not be able to do this. So I'm really blessed that they have that, or we are really blessed. All of us are really blessed to have their music. Today, I'm going to actually do a piece of music at the very end. We do have permission, but Facebook can get a little weird sometimes if it's copywritten software, or copyrighted, I think is the way you say it, with music. And so sometimes they block us. So I'm actually doing one that was done in a church, but we're going to do it at the end just in case, because I don't want you to miss any of the burning bowl ceremony that we're going to do. All right, let's see. Say hi if you're here. Good morning. Hello. However you would like to greet us. Let me know there's somebody here. I know that in a facility, I can look out and see the smiling faces, and I get some real feedback, some energetic feedback from people who are there. And because I don't get that, I ask you to please say hello, hi, good morning, however you'd like to greet us, and let us know you're here. Also, there's a watch party button if you would like to have people, your friends, join you and see what kind of talks they can expect, or in this case, a ceremony. Then click on that watch button and invite your friends, and you can talk back and forth as you can answer their questions, because you can't bother anybody, right? You're at home. So again, say hi, hello, good morning, however you want to greet us. And I'd like to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
The presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God right here, right now, for God is all there is, encompassing each and every one of us and all of the universe, all one great being we call God, and a being that is becoming ever more perfect, ever more pleasant. All of these things rolling forth into time and eternity. So no matter where you are, no matter when you are, there is God right there with you, within each of us, and around all of us, supporting and upholding and uplifting. I know God brings forth perfection to the greatest degree that we can allow. And I'll remove the bumpers right now, and I let out all the stops. And I know that God is presenting an even more perfect creation from this moment onward. I accept that perfection for myself and for all of you, for I know that God is right there to make it happen. And with great thanks for letting that happen, I let it be. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. This next song is one of Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver's We Are All One, and it is the basis of our philosophy. So we do like to use that every Sunday. If you know the words, sing it loud and sing it proud, because you can't bother anybody. And if you don't know the words, learn them. It's such a comforting and uplifting song to get stuck in your head. Here we go.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
Truly, we are all one in it. Again, say hello, hi, however you'd like. Good morning, whichever way you want to greet us, just to let us know you are here and who's here. And Also, if you like something that you hear, whether that be the music, the prayers, something I say, use that thumbs up button. And of course, if you love something you hear, send us love in the form of hearts. We love those. And if something is very powerful that you hear, whether that again be through the music, through the prayers, through something I say, let us know that by doing the wow button. That feedback is very important to us because we know we're on track. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we are going to forego the music in the beginning. As I said earlier, we're going to have our music at the end. Faith Faith doesn't have much of a voice today. And so we're going to be doing a song from Karen Drucker at the very end that is one that one of our churches has done and recorded. So I'm going to jump right in here. So today is the Burning Bowl 2022. And our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, said, there is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. So true. So absolutely true. We can use it, and we do use it. I think the greater truth is that you're using it right now. So whether you're making decisions about whether or not you want to stay here, whether or not you want to go, whatever it is, it forms a belief pattern, and it's done to you as you believe. And the thing to remember is that you should be using it, or I don't want to should on you, but it's important for us to use it consciously and to use it for more good in our lives. Peaches. Reverend Lynn has had a lung transplant, and he cannot have the birds in the room with him. So Peaches is going to actually be going to a new home next week. And Buddy will stay with us because I can bathe Buddy, and I can keep the dander down for him. So anyway, so if she screams, this might be the last time you'll hear her screaming. Anyway, we are here to remember who we are. We're children of creation, right? We are here to remember that we are created in the image. Careful. Image and likeness of God. Creation. And the universe loves whatever you choose to call the creative motivating force that moves in and throughout the universe. We are here to heal our misconceptions, to release whatever beliefs may no longer be serving us. We are here to learn how to use our divine inheritance to make our lives and our world a better place. Ultimately, we are here to wake up, to inspire, to uplift, to heal, to make whole ourselves in our world. Now, I love to get you thinking right from the get-go, because the very last thing I want you to do is leave your brain at the door. So here's today's question. Last week, we did visioning, and there are 3 parts to the visioning. The first is, what is God's vision for our lives? The second is, what must I become in order for that vision to manifest through me? And the third question is, what must I release? So we spend a lot of time talking about those first 2 questions, about how to get not the vision from God out there, but vision from God within. What is the vision for my life? And then what spiritual principle must I embody in order for me to be a perfect vessel through which that vision can manifest? We spend a lot of time on that. What we don't spend a lot of time on is the release part of this. So today is going to be all about release. What do you need to let go of so that you can be free to grab hold of all that you are really meant to be? The Unity churches have this wonderful tradition of burning bowl. And a lot of our ministers, including my mentor minister, who I've adapted this talk from, Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris, did a talk last week about this. And I, she did the whole ceremony. And so I'm fashioning today's service on what she did. But a lot of our churches and centers have adapted for the burning bowl ritual. And she calls it a ceremony. I think it's more of a ritual personally, because we don't really do a lot of ceremonial stuff with it. And during her 2 decades as the minister of Spirit Works in Burbank, she conducted this ritual every year. We used to do it in our church. We had a little twist on it. We had an arch, and people would burn what they were ready to release. And when they were done burning that, they would step through the arch, and we would greet them on the other side with a hug. Unfortunately, that's not going to work in today's world. So we're going to do our best to simulate what we can do here. So I invite you, as I'm talking, to find a pen and paper and I prefer metal, but if you've got a bowl that you know is fire safe, then by all means go get it. And some water, because we want to be safe. We want to make sure that we have an ability to put out the fire if it gets a little out of control, right? We want to make sure we're safe doing this. But being ready to let go of whatever you may be holding on to consciously or unconsciously that you need to release in order to move forward into the life of your dreams is really important. And so the paper doesn't need to be thick or glossy or anything else. Just paper that's lightweight. Lightweight's better than heavyweight, and small is better than large, just to be safe. You know, the fireproof bowl and a container of some sort of water on hand, or a fire extinguisher if your house has that. And I'm just going to start talking while you gather all these things so you can carry me around on your phone, hopefully, or your tablet. On January 20th last year, this poet came to the forefront. At President Biden's inauguration ceremony. And she's an amazing young woman. I am totally inspired by her to have such a vision and such a poetic way of stating all of that. Amanda Gorman is truly amazing. Okay, Peaches, I'm on Facebook Live, honey. Last Wednesday, she released a new work entitled New Days, and I'd like to share it with you. She wrote, "What was cursed? We will cure what was plagued. We will prove pure where we tend to argue. We will try to agree those fortunes we force for now, the future we foresee, where we weren't aware. We're now awake. Those moments we missed, or now the moments we make, the moments we meet in our heart, once altogether beaten, now altogether beat." I just thought that was so powerful as a vision for 2022 of how we come back together, how we actually heal our nation, how we heal ourselves. Duchess, no. Sorry. She's acting out a little bit. Everybody's kind of acting out a little bit because Lynn came home and, you know, things are different now. So few poets really enjoy the kind of attention she received this past year. But one of the good parts of 2021 was an email in the Associated Press where she reflected less on her own success than on the state of the country. She wrote, "It is the chaos and instability of 2021 that made her reject the idea of going back to normal and instead fight to move beyond that." She mentioned Maya Angelou's poem, Human Family, and added, "To be a family, a country doesn't necessitate that to be the same or agree on everything. Only that we continue to try and see the best in each other and move forward into a shared future. Whether we like it or not," she said, "we are in this together." The government offered an alternative response when asked what inspired New Days, telling the Associated Press that she wanted to write a lyric to honor the hardships, the hurt, the hope, and the healing of 2021, while also hearkening the potential of 2022. "This is such a unique New Year's Day," she said, "because even as we toast our glasses to the future, we still have our heads bowed for what has been lost. I think one of the most important things the new year reminds me of is that old adage, this too shall pass. We can't relive the same day twice, meaning every dawn is a new one and every year an opportunity to step into the light. Boy, her wisdom is just inspiring, and it's such a positive perspective, and it's more than admirable. Every year we have an opportunity to step into the light, and every moment all around us, things have changed and continue to change. The calendar changes, the world changes, what we think we understand changes, and we're watching it because we must. The calendar tells us that what we have left 2021 behind, and our inner wisdom tells us that we are now creating a brand new year. But will we? Will it be that for you? Will it be the new year in which your dreams come true? This year in which you accomplish your highest goals and your deepest aspirations? It can be that and much more. And I believe that God's universe conspires to nudge us, push us in the right direction. You know, I've talked about this a couple of times, but I have been in a couple of jobs where it was time for me to leave, and my fears held me back. My fears of not finding another job that is as lucrative, or my fear of not finding a job that has as much flexibility, kept me from stepping out and quitting and going to find another job. And in both instances, I was let go. One at Scientific Software, they merged with Intercomp, and my job was duplicated with the other company. Actually, that's both of them when I think about it. But it was perfect because I needed to leave that job. I was there a year and a half, and I suffered for about 6 months in silence. Well, not really in silence. I would come home and complain about it. But they didn't know that I was unhappy. And when they had the merger and said, you know, you don't have the credentials that this other assistant technical writer has, so we're going to have to let you go. I'm like, okay, that works for me. We went out and saw Star Wars, the very first Star Wars movie. It was a great day because I felt that release. I felt that freedom finally. And the second time was when I was working at Bobby McGee's. And I was not a good waitress. That is not my forte at all. And again, they merged with the one that used to be on Santa Fe, and they had another Gypsy Rose. So they let me go. And again, I felt that sense of release because I was so miserable at that job. I could not get my timing down right. It was a 4-star or 5-star dining, I don't know. And I could not for the life of me get that timing down. And so I was pretty miserable. I always felt like a failure. You know, my managers were always harping at me about it. And I was always disappointing the customers, which was really what it amounted to. And so I never felt really good about myself in that job. I didn't work there that long. I was there maybe 6 months, I think. But when they let me go, again, there was that sense of freedom. Because when we release those things that no longer serve us, that's what it is. It's freedom. We finally feel free of the chains that have bound us to that experience. My mentor minister, as I mentioned, is this is her talk, really. I'm just putting my spin on it, but she gets the daily word from Unity every morning, and she found this one that just really spoke to this topic from Tuesday, December 28th of 2020. As I think of new beginnings, challenges I'd like to take on, or fresh endeavors I wish to try, I remember that releasing the old makes way for the new. I may feel called to clear out my physical space or something I own when something I own has outlasted its utility. Releasing it puts it back in circulation and gives me ample space to welcome the new. Sometimes spiritual house cleaning is in order. Release thoughts, beliefs, and actions that no longer serve. I open a space before my mind for a new understanding and in my heart for divine inspiration. With a fresh outlook, I am able to discern my spiritual guidance. Releasing the past is the first step toward creating the perfect future. And those words were actually inspired by Matthew 18:18. Truly, I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. So what is it that is keeping you from your good? What is keeping you from that vision of your life, from God's vision of your life, but from your vision of your life as well? What has bound you to these experiences that no longer serve you. And so we're going to be talking about that a little bit here. And at the end, we are going to give you an opportunity to burn what you're releasing. So again, I hope you found your pen and paper. It doesn't have to be a large piece of paper. It could be, a little piece of paper like this. The smaller, the better, actually, because you don't want a big fire in your house. So what we're going to do is we are going to burn those things that you want to release, but we're going to do a little bit of a ritual around that. I know Faith did a ritual on New Year's Eve that was very similar to that. She had, remind me again, Faith, you had a circle and the outside was what you wanted to release?
Yeah, so for New Year's, pardon the voice, guys. You write what you want to bring into your new year on the inside, and then what you want to let go on the outside, and then you burn the outside.
Right. Okay. That's what I understood. I watched it. It was really good. But I think that's a wonderful thing to do on a New Year's Eve. I think that, releasing the old and bringing in the new is something that we all should really do, or not should, can do, might do, want to do. Because there's so much holding us back in the year prior, right? And if we really want it to start out as a new year, new me, then what we really want to do is we want to get rid of all of that stuff that's keeping us from being that new year, new me. So Dr. Marlene also gets this daily card reading from the tarot cards every morning. And she says, if I like what it says, I believe it. But if I don't believe it. If I don't like it, I don't believe it. She says, I don't, but I usually do. And she received a card some time ago that seemed perfect. And so she reread it. It said, change has been coming your way for a while now. And today you may see the first explicit features of what happens as only a beginning. And you may look back in a few days, weeks, months, and recognize that your life is already in the process of making a turn for the better. It's the nature of life to not stay the same. And as you're being moved forward, you are being catapulted into that life that you have envisioned for yourself. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote that nature will not allow us to stay in one place for too long. I'm paraphrasing, of course. If we did not let go and move on, well, then the universe would step in and give us a little kick in the butt, which is what happened to me twice. And so most of us resist change largely because we fear it. But I think because change, real meaningful change in our lives is scary. And it's not usually easy. I'm sorry. I still have a little cough left over. I had a cold a few days after Lynn went in the hospital. I got this cold. And this nagging cough keeps hanging on. We make so many excuses for not letting go of what doesn't serve us. We tell ourselves, I can't change, or it's just the way I am, or no one will love me if I change. Not true. None of it is true. The way you are now may be the way you have been for a long time, but it's not the real person that you are. You are so much more. We talk about God as the truth about us, the real self that is within us. That God is who and what we are. Not all of God, but God is all of us, you see. It is who and what we are, and all of me is God. All of you is God. All of us is God. And we may not consciously know it all the time. We tend to forget, but in the hearts of our hearts, in our soul, we know that we are more, that we are greater than we have ever thought we could be, that we are kinder, loving, or wiser, healthier, more divine than we have ever acknowledged. But there are all thoughts, ideas, beliefs that occlude this clarity, and you must let them go to become that which you are here to be. The powerful thing to do is to let go, to release what isn't working, especially if it did work at one time in our lives. How many of you have ever gone through your closet and you are hesitant to get rid of those things that either you've grown out of or they're really not in season anymore, way past their prime, or they're falling apart, but we don't want to let go of them because they're familiar, they're comfortable. But that's truly what we need to do. We need to release what used to work for us but doesn't work for us anymore, and to release that and be new. It's a powerful process, letting go of the past and moving with the now to a new start. So here's the question: what do you want changed in your life? Remember, it's entirely up to you. I could give you a whole list, and I'm sure your friends and parents or children would probably give you their list of what you should change in your life. But this is really up to you. What do you want changed in your life? See, you have to do the work, the mental work especially, and nothing will happen unless you truly want it to. It all starts with making a decision that you want to change, that you want your life to be better, richer, fuller, more abundant, more spiritual, more peaceful. And then once you've made that decision, then it's about doing what needs to be done. What do you want to toss out of your life? Maybe it's that old dress. Maybe it's a relationship that does more harm than good to both of you. Maybe it's a job that no longer serves you. Maybe it's a house that you no longer like. Maybe it's a situation that has long outgrown its purpose. So what do you want to toss out of your life? What do you want to cleanse? What do you want to give up? And what habits do you keep doing that over and over again that you know are getting in your way? Are you facing a health challenge? Is it physical, psychological, emotional? Is it spiritual? What do you need to release or give up? What do you want gone from your life? In your heart of hearts, desire to be what you have been. What? Just a second. I can't read my own notes here. In your heart of hearts, what do you desire to be different in your living environment? Will there be less conflict and friction, less noise, clutter? Do you have money worries? You have the power. That's the thing we forget. We have the responsibility to make better choices if we want to live a happier life. So now, as the old year appears in the rearview mirror, it's time to move on. It's time to embrace 2022. The Old Testament tells us forgetting those things which are behind us and reaching forth lets us press on the mark. It's been a couple of years, hasn't it? It's been a couple of years. Oh boy, has it been a couple of years. I'm interested in the way that changes all come before and all that will come after. You're changed. You have to be. I've changed. We had to. So what do you want to keep? What lessons, what memories are important to you over these last couple of years? And what memories or lessons are you ready to release now because you've learned them and you no longer need to keep them? What do you want to become? And what do you choose to let go of? Only you can decide this stuff. I can't decide for you. No, nobody can decide for you. So I'd like you to take your paper now. And I'm going to have you close your eyes here in just a minute, but get your pen and paper and, cut it to whatever size or tear it or whatever. Again, you want it to be about that big, nothing huge. Okay. If you have flash paper, great. If you don't, regular paper, that's fine. That works. Just make sure that you're fire safe and have water or an extinguisher close by. And you're going to cut off a little small piece of paper, just large enough to hold the words you need to make it clear to you what you are releasing. Doesn't need to make sense to anybody else. And again, you're going to write these words on the paper, but the more concise, the better, because we're not going to tell our story. We're not going to retell our story. We do enough of that. Enough is enough. No retelling the story. All we're going to say is, I need to release this, or we don't even need to say, I need to release. All we have to say is what the situation is. A relationship, you know what relationship. A job, you know what job. Release it, claim it, name it, and release it. Okay, so I'm going to have you close your eyes, if that feels comfortable, and just sort of allow yourself to think about what is the most important thing for you to release this year. It might be what you got in the visioning last week when we asked that question. It might be something that's occurred since then that you've realized that you've been holding on to. Just a few words. Okay, so open your eyes and let's write on that piece of paper what you want to release. I didn't get my birdie ball. I will be right back while you're writing that. It's been a little hectic around here. Just a little hectic with all the new things that we have to do for Lynn. So sometimes it just gets a little crazy and I forget things. All right, so I'm going to write my release thing here. And I'm going to tear my paper. See, it's about that big. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to set it to side for now. Okay. Let me know if somebody needs more time. You shouldn't if you're just writing a few words. And this ritual creates a real change in your mind. It literally helps you build new pathways, new neural pathways in the brain, as it cuts across the old neural pathways that said it's this way, and this is the way it's got to be. It's always been, I'll never be anything but this. Those pathways that have been formed as a result of the repetitive negative thought, like telling your story over and over and over, and unhealthy mental habits such as living in the drama of the past. It gives you a greater tour, a more real beginning than turning the pages of a calendar. Take a few moments and hold your paper in your hand. Envision what your life can be like without this. Know that as you hold it in your hand and as you place your intention to release this, you are now willing to release it. And when you are ready to let go, place the paper in the golden or in your burning bowl. And just take a moment to know that you will be committing your concern to the transformative power of the flame. Let's begin our new beginning with a quote from Norman Vincent Peale that bears repeating. Hear this, please. There is a spiritual giant within you, which is always struggling to burst its way out of the prison you have made for it. That spiritual giant is a power, a potentiality. This power can remake you, whether you choose to call it God or spirit or life. There is an almighty power and presence that is capable of making things. That power can recreate each one of us and fill us with new life, and it can transform our whole world. Okay, you placed your paper in the bowl. Feel that sense of power. Having first made the choice to let go, say to yourself, if you will, with this act, I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. The past is gone forever. If your letting go is about forgiving someone, then say, I fully and freely forgive this person. Say their name. I loose him or her, and I let him or her go. They are free now, and I am free as well. And if later, if it pops up again at some point, just dismiss it with, you want to honor that you have the thought, and then dismiss it by saying, no, I have released this already. Simply acknowledge it and dismiss it. Give it no power over you. It has no power unless you give it power. It will return less and less often until one day you realize you've pretty much forgotten it altogether. St. Paul wrote, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that's what the burning bowl ceremony is all about. Transformation and renewal begin in your mind. Hear the words in your head. Be transformed. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now hear them in your heart and say it with me. I am free. I am limited. Unlimited. I am unlimited. I can't read my own writing. There are no chains that bind me. I am free. I am unlimited right now. Okay. Now carefully light your paper. Remember, you got to have water close by. I don't have any flash paper, so mine's going to take a minute. Light it. We tried to find flash paper the last time we did this, didn't we, Faith? We couldn't find it here in Denver anywhere. I don't know what's happened to the flash paper these days. It's always better to do it on flash paper because it goes up quicker. And you can really tell that it's gone, But that's okay. We're burning it. I am free. I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am now free. I am unlimited. Just keep going until it burns back into the nothingness from which it came, like Emerson said. This returns back to the nothingness from which it came. That's one of my favorite prayers, by the way. At the very end, I always say, and the mental cause for this returns back to the nothingness from which it came. And there we go. See? Whew. Smoky. All right. I want you to remember this week that as we're moving into 2022, we are releasing all of the ideas of no freedom. Because what we did here today brings us freedom. Doesn't matter whether you wear a mask or you don't wear a mask. You are free. Doesn't matter whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated. You are free. There's nothing that can take away your freedom because it's not the government. It's not other people. It is us. We limit our own freedom. God is the freedom within us. And that is our truth. That is who and what we are. Our very essence, our very life, our very being. And so join me now in prayer as we release all of this and we speak it into the room that we have released it. I now turn my attention to the infinite power, the infinite presence, the infinite life that is God. To that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful God is in life. And so that's where I find myself. In the midst of God, my very essence, my very life, my very beingness. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that one ancient wisdom of God that lives within me. I know that same truth to be so for God's team, for Faith, for Oz, for Tina, for Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver, for Karen Drucker, for Lynn. For we are all one in that infinite power, that infinite presence of God, and that is our truth. And that wisdom, that ancient wisdom of the ages flows through each of us. As we go through what we must do as human doings, there is always that inner urging of God within us, urging us in that direction. So I know that same truth to be so for every person whose name is in the ministry of prayer this week. And all who are watching here, whether that be in real time or later on. For there is no place where one leaves off and the other begins. There's only one. One power, one presence, one life, one being. So this coming week, I know that what we have released here today no longer haunts us, no longer possesses us, no longer has any control or power over us. We've released it. We've set it free. We are now ready for the change in 2022. We are now ready to embrace all the newness that brings, to embrace all of the good that has already been changing, has already been put in motion. But right now, we embrace it as truth, as reality, as physically happening right now. I know this to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today, because I do know that whatever challenge they are experiencing, God is the power underneath that is the impetus for it to change and be released and to absolutely step into a new power, a new vision, a new life. One that has all of the makings of our vision, all of the makings of our happiness, all of the makings of our living in joy and happiness. I pull back the veil here and now, revealing that truth, that this is the truth about your life, my life, our life, right here, right now. I claim it as good and very good, and I just fill with gratitude and love to know this is so, to be in service in this way, as I just let this be. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Hey, woman. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have seen in this physical realm already, and that which you have created in the mind of God, but you may not have seen in this physical reality yet. At the bottom of the screen here is our website, www.oasiscsl.org. I invite you to go there with me. And about 2/3 down the page is our offering affirmation, which we're going to say. And then right under that is the Contribute Now button. Let me just say a word about contributions. You're not contributing to a salary, okay? Or mama needs new shoes, nothing like that. What you're contributing to is the message, God's message, that is so powerful to uplift and inspire and enlighten the world. That's what you're helping. So it takes money, unfortunately, to market this, to get it out. We want to be global. We are global. We have people that watch us from all different countries, but we want to grow this to something large enough to make a mass difference in the world. So that's what you are contributing to as you press that contribute now button. So whether you're watching this in real time or later on, you can do this with us right now. Go to oasiscsl.org. About 2/3 down the page is our offering affirmation. Please say it with me. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. Hit that contribute now button. And we're going to do announcements and then I'll play our special song. Okay, we have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast that makes up our ministry of prayer, which we call our God Squad. They are available for spiritual guidance by appointment for a fee. So you can reach out to them from our Facebook, or you can also reach out to them from our website. Just let them know you would like a spiritual guidance session, and they will reach out to you and they'll arrange payment with you, whether that's PayPal or Cash App or Venmo. And then they will meet with you at the appointed time by reaching out to you through video chat. We also have at our 1 Minute Miracle at the end of this, and that is what Oz does. And it's not a time for counseling, but it is a time where you can share with him whatever challenge you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. You reach out to him through video chat, and he will answer. If he doesn't answer right away, it's because he's working with someone else. Please try back later. But please know that our practitioners are here for you. That's the main thing. So if you would like prayer for something this week, in the comments section, please put your prayer requests there. If you don't want it to be public, you can reach out and direct message one of us, and Faith will make sure that it gets onto the private facing group page for what we call the God Squad. And then that's where they get their prayer requests for the week. If you would like to serve on the God Squad and you are not a licensed practitioner, it is not required as far as that goes. So if you are willing to do affirmative prayer every day for a week, you are willing to follow through on that, and you will keep all of those prayer requests confidential, meaning you don't even tell your spouse. You don't even tell your dog. If you're willing to do that, type yes in the comments section. This only happens when I talk a lot. Must mean I need to be quiet for a while. Anyway, type yes. And Faith will add you to our God Squad on that private facing Facebook group page. If you would like to be part of our online community, meaning you get information about what we're doing prior to anyone else getting it, then type more in the comment field, and Faith will add you to our public-facing group page on Facebook. I have this wonderful announcement today. Remember Brooks and Bailey that I've been talking about every week? Well, she sent me these mala beads. I want to show them to you. They're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous. And these sell for $60, she says. All of the proceeds go to Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, and you can contact her through brooksandbailey0307@gmail.com. Also, they have a Facebook page, so know that you can reach them through that. They have great bracelets. The handmade malas are wonderful. They're just beautiful. Mine, of course, are purple. Okay, Faith, I'm going to make you talk just for a minute.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet today. Please go check us out. Check out the website and follow Instagram and Facebook for any updates or events that we'll be doing in the future.
Thank you, Faith. Oh, my goodness. She has intention jars this is one that she did for me for prosperity. I love to play with it when I'm working on my prosperity. And then as an adjunct to that, we have Angel Renee's intention candles, which are $25 each. And then the little tea bag that you can put in your bath and focus on your intention. Those are $10, I believe. So check her out. She has an Etsy store. So does Faith. The Mystic Brew has an Etsy store. So, all right. Let's see. I want to acknowledge Fairy Elaine Silver's music. You can go on her website, figure out what you want, but you will have to contact her. She's traveling all over the United States singing, and she can't update her website to do like Cash App or whatever. So you need to reach out to her by email and arrange payment, and then she'll send it to you. She, travels around with all these CDs in the trunk of her car. I got the nicest message from her the other day. I want to say, please do more of my music. What CDs do you not have? So I told her I would go through the list and see what I have and see what I'm missing. Also, Karen Drucker, her website does work, so you can order right off the website. She has it by song, by CD, by songbook. Some of the titles in the songbook actually have American Sign Language. It's pretty cool, so check it out. We like to support those that support us, so we ask you to please go to their websites and purchase all three of those people: the Brooks and Bailey, Reverend Fairly Elaine Silver, and of course Karen Drucker. All right. Check out our website at oasiscsl.org. Also know that you will get sermons. The video sermons are from the past year and a half. The audio sermons are prior to all of that. And we are also on YouTube, and we are on SoundCloud. YouTube has the videos from the past year and a half, and SoundCloud has the audio from before. So check all of that out. We have all kinds of stuff on our website so you can see the people in the church and what we do, or what events we've had. I'm going to have Oz pray us out before I let you go, and then we'll listen to that song. Here's Oz. I switched it up on him. You're muted, darling.
I know that right here, right now, that God is right here within us, in us, as us. For God is all there is. Its being extends beyond the known universe, and it is creating new universes as we speak. And in that new universe, I know I will meet you, and we will have fun. And I know this is a good thing, for God is good. And I allow that goodness to be in your life for the following week. And I let this goodness flow forth. And I know that it is good and very good. As that is so, I give thanks, and I let it be. And so it is.
And so it is. Stay tuned for this song. I want you to watch the video, but I just don't want us to get cut off before, all of this happens. So stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated. We love you. Join us next week, 10:30 a.m. and every Sunday. And of course, in 2 weeks, you're going to want to be here for Faith's special coming of age ceremony. So thank you, all of you, for being here. I know there's 1,000 places you could be or do on a Sunday morning, and we're glad you were here with us. So listen to this, because this is a great song. This is one of Karen Drucker's.
Release
A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition.
I can't get it to go away. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness. Bye for now. See you next week. We love you.